this wasn't really supposed to be, but you know what? I'm I'm gonna make some progress here. Why not? That tune is for whenever you figured out a puzzle or whatever. I shall get. I shall save your father. Just be patient. So, arrow clearly pointing that that mushroom makes you go boing, and that way leads to nowhere. One thing that'll help you find cages is that you'll be said they'll be calling for help, and that clearly means that what's in those cages are nearby, and some of them can be pretty well hidden, as stated. Is swimming not advised? Actually, I am. This way heads back anyways. So onward, onward. Piranhas are back. They are no less annoying than they were in the first Rayman game. Although they probably appear more often. So, time to make your way back. Don't you dare on me. You ugly bastards. Here's a pretty generic enemy facing some pirates. One problem with this game is that the combat, it is slightly weak. It's not bad, but one problem with it is that as you're sending your energy balls, if you throw them rapidly, the enemies won't just keep taking damage. Instead, you have to wait a second or so before you can deal damage towards them again. There's a couple thus far. It kills me not knowing what those things are called. I know they're not electoons this time around. Like spirits. So I heard the first time. Yeah, I was about to state that those green lumps will. They are checkpoints in the game. Those red ones will restore your health. One nice thing about this game is that you don't have to search for every single. It's not going to be like Banjo-Kazooie. You have to search for every single lum in one run. You can just simply come back to the level and find the rest of it there. Whatever was originally yellow lumps will turn to red lumps, which will replenish your health. So, are there any lumps down there besides that red one? Well, whatever. Anyways. The music in this game is also pretty good. It's not quite phenomenal like it was in the first Rayman game, and it seems I can't stay locked down once I start falling. Music's not as memorable, but it does the job. I know I saw those yellow lumps, but do I not need to? Actually, was I just able to use those hoops? It's not like the first game where you have to learn the ability. Because if so, I messed up and I'm gonna have to come back here. But some of the levels you'll not be able to get all the yellow lumps in one playthrough anyways. Occasion you'll have to get a power-up or something and then come back and get the rest of the lumps, which won't be that many. You can pick up the majority of them the first time, but not quite all of them. The controls, I say, will take a little time to get used to. They're again, not bad. There's not particularly anything bad about this game. It's just that Rayman does not control as smoothly as you might think, even compared to games like Mario 64 or Sonic Adventure. And there we'll need to learn some ability. I'll not be explaining what it is quite yet. And cautious, cautious. I know someone's calling for help. See if I can find that cage once I'm off. I'm not sure if the game's explained this, but just press L1 and R1 to hand to first person. Can you swim in there? I'm gonna assume not. Not with that piranha jumping out of the water constantly. Anyways. Those sections of the games are fun where you ride those things. It can be quite tricky. But parts of this game are just a blast to go through. I hear ya. I hear ya. Now it is nighttime. Good chunk of time has passed. Okay, just making sure there's... Okay, so I'm able to head this way. Okay, I'm seeing some lumps back there. I completely forgot. Don't remember this. Actually, I'll probably need that certain ability when we will originally need one of Rayman's friends in order to execute. The X clearly marks the spot. Okay, let's try to get to him. Actually, oh yeah, that's right. Need to stand here. Should be pretty obvious, but you need to have the exploding barrel hit that spot. One thing that little did I know at first, but you do not have to hold cross or whatever button it is for any other version of the game, probably A. You can just simply tap it and then tap it again in order to end the helicopter ability. Lots of things you can grab onto this game. There might be a time or two where, little do you know, you can grab onto that thing and might get stuck. Oh. Thankfully, you can just easily grab on even after getting hit. Another easy puzzle. There we can get on through. Someone does not approve us heading this way. What are we trying to say, Murphy? Yep, that is to strafe, not just to lock on. So it is a little bit of a third-person shooter, I guess. Not exactly, but a little similar. See, I already shot him like a couple times, but only after a few seconds did that RNG attack actually affect it. Nothing too difficult thus far. This is a far easier game than the first Rayman game, which is the most difficult Rayman still, even though it's the first game. Granted, it is an older game, and generally they are more difficult. So let's take a look around, not get stuck for no reason. But Rayman 2, while you may die a good chunk of times, you won't have to like start at the very beginning. Even just fall into pits, you don't die automatically, you just lose a bit of health there. But once you do lose all your health, you do have to head back to the checkpoint, as you may have guessed. So you don't necessarily have to head back all the way to the beginning of the level. And thankfully so, because these levels can be pretty lengthy. Some of them can last up to an hour blind, even. It's probably a longer game than Rayman Legends, although it does take more time to... a lot more time to 100% those games. Having to get trophies, having to save all the Electoons and whatnot. In this one, you just have to worry about Electoons and cages. So yeah, you need to drop down here. Careful now. You can even throw some energy balls as you are hovering. Boing! Quite a leap. Yipes, yipes, yipes. You have a decent amount of health now, but you can actually be able to hold even more health if you complete through some mini games. I'll explain more on that later, but yeah, you can even now make this game even easier. Of course, the enemies will get tougher and tougher as you make progress, but you don't necessarily have to be that much more skilled in order to complete the game. Okay, and forgive me if I end up either not speaking during commentary much, or I speak but end up getting confused on where I'm heading to. It's probably going to happen a good chunk of time. Even now, I'm not entirely sure where to head to. So, I'm clearly backtracking. Do I need to head back out? One of the upgrades you can get is that you're able to move with a powder keg. You're able to move a lot more quickly. You can also pick up more accumulation, being able to fire a lot more rapidly. While I strongly recommend getting accumulation, it is kind of annoying having to use powder kegs and it having to really decrease your speed. So those are like the first two I recommend. Okay, obviously I went through these already. I'm just not sure what else this game is asking me to do now. Well, dang it. I don't need to... Actually... Oh, yeah, that's right. As I've stated, I will get confused. Not pay attention to cutscenes. I will give assistance. I spent a little over half an hour in this game, I'm not sure if that includes the cutscenes or not. A pretty easy obstacle to get through. No major sweat. Even now, I'm still kind of going through the same problems. Still kind of getting depressed here and there, so who knows if I can consistently feel like doing these gameplay videos. But hey, my employment life at Papa John's will be a lot easier now that I will not make as many deliveries. Actually have time to chow down. Actually able to get other things done besides making deliveries. Papa John's is a lot more enjoyable than working at custom products, but it can be more stressful overall. That's half the looms thus far.
Bringing Rayman. Find the machine and destroy it.
That I shall. Unfortunately, Lee does not appear in any other Rayman game. I would have liked to have her as a playable character during Rayman Legends or whatever. You know, what can you do? Then again, Mr. Dark hasn't appeared since the first game, although one of the teensies did cosplay as him more or less. Mr. Dark should make a comeback in the next Rayman game. And while at it, actually have it so you can battle him. Yeah, this part's kind of a pain. Trying to carry them kegs. Then having hit certain spots. So we're able to free leave the ferry. So, keg number 2. If there's enemies coming after you, and it's gonna happen, just press cross to throw it upwards, then you're able to throw energy attacks on it. Probably gonna have to throw it up once more. Throw it once more. And I don't mean vomit, of course. Ugh. I was worried for a second that might have been too close, but fortunately it wasn't. Running, running, running. Oh, I'm not sure if there's gonna be that much to discuss near the end of this game. The environments change enough. The gameplay is consistently enjoyable, although a lot of the puzzles do kind of repeat, and the controls are basic enough to explain. Not sure how much longer my constant babbling will last. But dear, you have been fed, girly girl.
Okay? Oh, Rayman, at last. I was afraid Glowbox had failed.
He gave me the silver lung, but we got separated. I need to find him and get rid of the pirates. But to do that, I'll need all of my powers.
I'm too weak to give you back all your powers. They broke the primordial energy core into 1,000 lungs. And combining
That's
the
what we
energy has become
need to use some of them for.
But there may be another solution. Have you ever heard of Polygus?
No.
He's the spirit of the world. His power is the base. He could help you defeat the pirates. Unfortunately, he's been sleeping for many years. But there is a legend which says he could
Must wake him from his slumber.
if you reunite the 4 masks.
The 4 masks?
These masks are magical and very powerful. They're hidden in secret and mysterious places.
Will be like some other mask-themed game I played through.
Find them, Rayman.
Majora's Mask. which is the latest game I have picked up, and for the first time actually picked up a game at launch. Well, I've picked up a few games on the release date before, but Majora's Mask 3D was the first time that I actually stayed at a store till midnight in order to pick up as soon as it releases. Excellent remake, by the way. Not a lot of complaints we had with it. Okay, so I couldn't grab two purple lumps. Now I know for sure. Just confuzzled. I had to learn how to grab onto these hoop lumps or not. I mean, with not doing commentary for a month and a half, there's still quite a bit to explain. Like, a couple weeks ago, I actually went to Comic-Con for the first time. I went to the one in Indianapolis, since Indiana has always been where I lived. It was a blast there. There's so many good cosplayers. So much merchandise I picked up. Some anime posters and some keychains. I went with Lego Man and a few other friends of mine. Thinking of heading to one that will occur in Chicago, or even one that's going to occur in Indianapolis. It's more this summer. Actually, what am I doing? What am I doing? Wasting time, clearly. As I am getting lost as I am discussing Comic-Con. Need to say, there are so many people there. There's like a place you can enjoy some arcade games. Once you've paid like $5 for the single day or $8 for the both days I went, you're able to enjoy the arcade games to your heart's content. So that was pretty awesome too. I did not cosplay as anyone, although my brother cosplayed as Link. I have considered at least trying out cosplay this once. I just no idea who the heck I should. My character, my alter ego should be.